Coming to you live from Bergen County, New Jersey and San Francisco, California. The best part of Wednesdays, it's Waffle Box with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes. Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 36, we're talking about the 30th birthday present that backfired big time. Channing Tatum's traumatization of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're talking Oscars, nominations, and Jackass Forever, plus a little bit more sprinkled in.
My balls.
My name is Mike Fish, and I am joined by the man who is cupping his balls in joint pain with the Jackass crew, I guess. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Happy big game week upon us.
Game.
I'm not a football fan, but am looking forward to all the shenanigans that will happen with big game. VLI 56. That's supposed to be 56. I totally botched that.
RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. There we go. Big game coming up. Everyone's hyped for it.
Big game.
Other than that, what have you been up to, Mr. Hayes, for the last 7 days? Any magical adventures?
Work is finally slowly starting, but is starting, and that's a step in the right direction. We're preparing for the newest season of the Kick-Ass Movie Podcast, which actually starts next Tuesday, this Tuesday coming up, the 15th, the day after Valentine's Day. Me and director Len Bazinski are back, and we're going to be talking about Avenging Force. Cheap plug, get that out of the way. You and I had the pleasure of talking all about this Sunday's big game on the newest edition of the Microdose that comes out this Friday, 2 days after this episode. And then we got more adventures on the way, but let's just roll with them as they come along. Right now, you and I are just here in the Waffle Box having a good time.
Content kings. That's what we're becoming. Content kings.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I mean, since we're putting in the plugs, don't forget, if you are listening to this, good Syrup Squad members, we've got the premiere of the new series, obviously Late Night Syrup, coming up this Friday night, live at 10 o'clock Eastern on our Waffle Box YouTube page and the Late Night Syrup Twitch page, twitch.tv/Late Night Syrup, where I'll be chatting to Katie from the What the Psychology podcast. It's going to be an interesting chat. Check that out live on YouTube and Twitch this Friday night. Big game coming up. Are you going to be watching it by yourself? Are you going to be going to a party? You know, you love a good party, and you love to get all sociable.
Party, but I don't foresee a party in our future this year, so I'll probably just be at home, just having a couple cold ones and enjoying the festivities, rooting for the Bengals since they did not beat the 49ers.
And I've got that cool $5 riding on that game. I could triple my money if the Bengals come in. No, I'm going to be probably ordering some junk food, drinking some beers, and then just watching the game. Me and my dogs. Be fun times. Fun times. Should we just roll right into the first story this evening?
Let's all roll.
Well, actually, before we get into that, obviously, I just did want to kind of touch on this subject. Roll it back. Joe Rogan has obviously been in the news recently. Now, unless you've been living under the rock, this has been covered multiple times by multiple different people with multiple different points of view. So I'm not going to dive into the whole nitty-gritty of it. But I just want to touch on what I've noticed, not just from this situation, but other situations, but this is the most recent situation. What is up with everyone, especially the vocal minority, shall we call them, on social media, where it has to be like extreme one way or the other? So, I mean, if you just watch people's reaction online, it's either I stand with Joe Rogan, he should be our next president, or it's this man must be burnt at the stake. It's like one or the other, rather than actually getting into the actual issue and actually hearing what he had to say. And if you actually watched his rebuttal video, if you can even call it, I thought he handled it quite well and just seemed like kind of a nice guy. But what do you think?
I think we should stop getting our information, regardless of what level it is, off of Twitter. I think we should probably all stop socializing on Twitter a little more, maybe. By the way, follow us at Waffle Box Pod on Twitter. And I think this you're all in or you're all out. I think that's just part of Twitter's outrage culture now. So just since we're going off of details, since we're talking about Twitter real quickly, like there was a whole thing where the newest Joe Rogan controversy that brought this up for you, Mike, is an Instagram user. This woman combed through over 1,800 episodes of the Joe Rogan podcast. By the way, those things usually average 3+ hours.
Yeah, there's
maybe a dozen episodes that are 2 hours or less. It's very, very rare to find those short episodes. But she went through 1,800+ episodes and found every instance of the word of Joe Rogan using the N-bomb in whatever context. Either she texted Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson about it, or someone said, "Hey, this woman found out about this," and Mr. Johnson was apparently very dismissive, or just dismissive. Who knows what verb we should put on this nowadays.
It doesn't matter.
I think he was trying to go with that. And then a gentleman chimed in and went, "Hey, Dwayne, no, N-bombs. All the N-bombs are over here with Joe Rogan. That woman's correct." And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually went back and sent her a personal tweet apologizing to her for being a little crass, maybe even being a little misogynistic, and then they moved on with their day. But then someone decided to go down the rabbit hole deeper, and that guy went, "Hey, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, all these N-bombs over here."
Why is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson involved in this?
Well, that guy who tweeted "The Rock" was apparently an author. And someone decided to go through one of his books and scan every page where this guy in his story dropped an N-bomb. And it's just like, oh, it doesn't end, and everybody can get it. So
meanwhile, the Rocks are sitting there like, why the fuck is everyone bothering me about this?
So the previous Joe Rogan controversy that happened like 2 days prior to this nonsense, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson chimed in like, "Way to hold your ground, big brother, and I can't wait to be on the next Joe Rogan podcast, and we're going to drink some tequila." And Joe Rogan got super excited, as would anybody, by reading that tweet. And was like, "Oh shit, The Rock's going to be on my show." Yeah. And then 2 days later, The Rock kind of just went, "Yeah, maybe I'm not going to do that.
Maybe I'll give it a little while."
So that made more news. And then, so now, since we're talking about it, now some Canadian podcast company, I don't know what their name is. Sorry, folks. They have offered Joe Rogan $100 million to quit Spotify and go exclusively with their podcast network, which I think would only lead to a lot of litigation, by the way.
Yeah, which would cause this company, whoever they are, to probably end up forking out a lot more than $100 million.
Probably a lot more than $100 million. But then, even after all that nonsense, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, has now chimed in, and he's like, "Joe Rogan, why are you apologizing? You should stand your ground, mister." And that's not the best Trump impersonation, but I've actually been out of practice for a year, so that's a good thing, folks. That's a good thing.
But here's the thing:
like, why is this guy back in the news again? Oh no!
People are, like, it's almost hilarious where this all started off with people complaining about Joe Rogan promoting misinformation. But then the majority of the reactions from it are people reacting to secondhand information, which is actually misinformation. It's misinformation from a misinformation thing. It's like where people are saying, "Hey, why Joe Rogan? Why are you apologizing?" He didn't apologize. If you actually watched what came out of his mouth, what he basically said was, "Hey, people are saying that I'm promoting misinformation. If I am, that's not my intention. Maybe in the future, when I have someone speaking on a subject with one point of view, perhaps as a person with my platform, I should have someone else who has a different point of view speak on perhaps the next episode, so they're closer together and they have a closer. That's something I could do better. That's what he said. He didn't apologize. He just said, "Hey, I'm taking your feedback on board, and I'm going to work with it," which I thought was
his
a
apology
really good.
Was for the out of context N-bomb video.
Oh, well, okay. Well, in that case, I'm not surprised. Donald Trump's like, "What's the problem? Why are you apologizing?" You should definitely grab that N-word's pussy. No, Donald, shut up. You're not helping. Apparently, he loves to grab the LP. Donald Trump back now. Hopefully, this is the last time we mention Donald Trump on the show again.
Unlikely. But
there you go. I'm not supporting Joe Rogan. I'm not bashing Joe Rogan. What I am saying is just chill the fuck out. If you don't like something, just avoid it, especially when it's just a guy's podcast. And I know I'm talking on a podcast, but if you don't like this podcast, don't listen to it. It's just simple. And if you are looking for information about anything, not only just the pandemic, but any kind of information, perhaps don't go to a podcast, go to someone who's an expert on that situation, rather than, oh, this guy's on this podcast. That's where I'll get my information from. But there you go. That's it. And back in the room, Zen.
There you go.
I thought we can. That
there you go. Woosah.
Rub the ears. On to lighter notes. Oh, it's not really lighter notes. So this couple who I can't remember exactly where they're based, doesn't really matter in terms of the story, but this couple, Mike and Janine Harvey. So their young daughter wanted to take a visit to Italy for her 30th birthday, basically because her father was of Italian heritage, and she kind of wanted to discover her roots and wanted to go to Italy to discover who she was. And then her parents thought, hey, prior to this trip, if you're talking about discovering yourself, discovering your ancestry, what better way than buying you an Ancestry.com, other DNA kits are available, kit, so you can actually find out exactly what your breakdown is, right? Great idea. What a thoughtful gift. So Jessica, the daughter in this situation, took this DNA test, and shortly before her trip, she got the results. And she said, and I quote, the test comes back. I'm sitting at my desk at work, actually. I don't care. Opened up to see some English. There's Irish, Welsh, German. Like, where's the Italian? Maybe Sicilian? What? Nothing, she told U.S. News Network CBS News. Further investigation following this test suggested there was a 0% chance that she was biologically related to her father. Whoa. That's
heavy.
That's heavy.
Is she related to her mom still? Or is this a swapped at birth thing? What?
No, so this is what had happened. What happened was, so Mike and Janine underwent fertility procedure known as IUI. I'm not going to say what those words mean because I can't pronounce them, at a hospital in Ohio in 1991. And the procedure basically involves, getting some sperm and then squirting it up there, I guess. I'm not a doctor. And so basically
artificial insemination.
That's the word. Look at you, Kush Hayes. DMD. That's a dentist. PhD. There we go. But yeah, basically their dad's sperm was mixed up with some other fellas who was at that same time receiving fertility treatment. So he was her father, not this guy. Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah. Don't play God, people. Don't play God.
He said, the father who's your daddy, not you, learning that your entire reality isn't what you believed it to be is hard to explain. Yes. So they actually managed to track down Jessica's biological father, like I say, who was undergoing fertility treatment at the same time. And she's actually spoke with him, and he's told her that he was pleased to learn that he had a child after all. Oh, so there's no follow up, so I don't know if they become, I'm assuming they're going to get to know each other and stuff like that. But what was hilarious almost is so the Summa Health Systems, the ones that did the whole procedure, when they released a statement to CBS News, they said, quote, "We take this allegation seriously and understand the impact it has on this family. At this point, we have not met with the family or conducted testing on our own." No, there's no allegations here, Summa Health System. They've done the tests. You fucked up. I bet they're going to be, and for those audio
again, that's a whole litigation thing where they can't.
I'm rubbing my fingers together to signify money. Yeah, they're going to get sued out the asshole.
And it's going to open them up for more lawsuits after this.
Because anyone who's worked with them in the past is suddenly going to go, did we get the right sperm? And I think there's going to be a lot of tests.
Definitely going to be a question.
What's wild is that in the end of the story, they kind of gave examples where, like you said, this isn't the first time something like this has happened, where the mix-up. So this was alleged mix-up, say, has happened before during fertility treatments last year, so 2021. A California couple said that they were taking legal action after giving birth. Oh, wait, mix up. Okay, sorry, they said this last year. Okay, great. I just got confused there. My eyes just got crossed. So they were taking legal action after giving birth in 2019 to a girl that they said looked nothing like them. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it actually worked out that the child wasn't theirs. But is it just me, or do the babies not look exactly the same to me? Like, how would you instantly see a baby pop out and go, psh, looks something like me? Like, I hasn't got a beard or anything. Where's his tattoos? Nothing like me. It's not mine. It's a baby. I'm definitely one of those people when friends come up to me and do the whole, look at my baby. I'm like, I've seen 100 of them. But yeah, they're suing it. And so after a DNA test, they found that the couple had carried the daughter to term, like another couple, and they just basically did a baby swap. Oh, this was yours? Oh, that's ours. And they just swapped the babies over.
Okay.
Which is pretty interesting. Pretty open and liberal. But yeah, no babies look alike. They all look the same. Whatever. What would you do in that situation? Like, what would you do if Kush Hayes, at 30 years old, because that's how old you are, right? You're only 30. You found out that you're the guy you thought was dead suddenly wasn't your dad, and you wasn't even preparing for that. You was just kind of working out, hey, if I got a little bit of fancy DNA in me, and then you find out, oh shit, my dad's not my dad. Like, what would you do? What would you do in that situation?
I'd probably need to get some therapy post-haste. That's the simplest answer that I got. Yeah, gonna need lots and lots of therapy post-haste.
What if your real dad was like a piece of shit as well? You're like, oh fuck that, I'm that guy. Not a good look.
You can choose to embrace that, or you can resist, go against the grain, do something different.
Speaking of traumatizing situations, segue. Channing Tatum is a little bit apparently okay. So the headline in this story, Channing Tatum says he's too traumatized to watch any Marvel movie. Interesting. Wonder what happened. This must be deep. So apparently, this is pre Fox Disney deal when all this was happening. So Channing,
he had got Fox, 20th Century Fox, to sign on and give him a Gambit movie, and it was going to have like $150 million budget. It's going to be a full-on blockbuster. It was getting ready to roll into production immediately. And then Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool came out, which only cost like $30 million and made $1 billion and was rated R. And then they went, well, hold on a second, Channing Tatum.
Why do you
maybe
need so
we
much
don't need
money?
to do this movie that's 5 times more expensive than what we just did, and maybe you don't need everything that we just said we'll give you. The ink's not dry yet, so maybe we're not doing this. But there was a lot of meetings and a lot of stress leading up to that non-green light, and I get it.
Yeah, so they'd spent
up
until the point where they suddenly got the himself and Reed Carolyn had spent 4 years developing the quote unquote raunchy Marvel movie. Now, this is obviously not the official tagline to the potential movie that was supposed to come out in 2016, but this is Reed's synopsis, I guess, where it's like, hey, once I read this, give me out of 10 how disappointed you're not going to see this movie. I quote, "We wanted to make a romantic comedy superhero movie. The thesis was the only thing harder than saving the world is making a relationship work." Woo!
Yeah. Which is why I was not sad when I found out that this thing was canceled. Like, Gambit's not the greatest character. In the 90s, everyone loved him because he wore a trench coat and he had a funny accent and he smoked cigarettes like a chimney. But other than that, he's not a very interesting character. But apparently he was Channing Tatum's favorite character. So I get it. If I spent 4 to 5 years of my life working on a Superman movie, that's right. I'm gonna put a little wig on and everything. I'm gonna wear the blue tights and red cape and all that. And then just at the last minute, like a day before we hire the catering trucks for the crew, it's now canceled. Yeah, I'd be a little bummed.
Yes, I think that this started casting and everything. It was full on pre-production when it got canned. And I think that Disney.
By the way, you'd be surprised how often that happens in Hollywood. Things you don't even know about get canceled all the time.
Then the Disney purchase when they got X-Men from Fox, that kind of was definitely the final nail in the coffin. But so Tatum said that once Gambit went away, I was so traumatized. Tatum said, I shut off my Marvel machine. I haven't been able to see any of the movies. I loved that character. It was just too sad. It was like losing a friend because I was so ready to play him. So
I get it.
This is a guy who's so like, I was so ready to play this character that the fact that this opportunity was taken away is just killed me. That fuck Marvel, fuck you and your cinematic universe. You can all eat shit and you die. Fuck you, Marvel. Next part of the article. What about if Disney actually wanted you to play Gambit? Oh yeah, I'd love to play Gambit. Gambit. I don't know. I don't think I should direct it, but yeah. So it's kind of like I couldn't do it, but I'm too traumatized to even watch a movie. We're actually going to make you a movie. Do you want to minute? Yes, I'd love you. Yes, come on, let's go. Not that
traumatized is probably the wrong word. He probably should have said something different. However, again, I get it. You put that much of your heart and soul into a project that then nothing of it happens. And when Fog City Wrestling closed down, it was hard for me to watch pro wrestling on TV again. Like, it's still hard. And that's just, I get it. I wouldn't say I'm traumatized, but yeah, man, I get it.
I know, it's kind of like when like a girl dumps you and you're just like trashing her to your friends. Fuck that bitch. I fucking hated her. And you know what? I hope she dies alone. And then next thing she like texts you, hey, what's up? And you're like, oh, hello. It's like, trying to act tough, Channing, whatever your name is. Be tough. You come crawling back to Disney and Marvel if they paid you enough. Anyway, that's just my
opinion. Why not? Why shouldn't he?
Why shouldn't he indeed? Get your money, fix that broken heart, Channing.
Money would never hurt.
Never hurts. What else is been going on in Hollywood? Oscars nominations came out yesterday. And as our resident Hollywood reporter, Mr. Cush Hayes, what are some of the highlights? Is there any surprises or is it all run of the mill? Give us the rundown.
So yesterday at 5 a.m. California time, they announced the nominees for the 94th Academy Awards ceremony, which I think is in six weeks from now.
Right. Firstly,
why the fuck are they doing all of that and just read a list?
Yeah, why the fuck are they doing it at 5 a.m.?
Because at 8 a.m. is the East Coast time.
And everyone knows the East Coast is the best coast.
There you go. So that's what that's all about. You know what, man? Normally, whether I've seen all the best pictures or not, like there's always a fervor. There's always, you know, the ground rumbles a little bit. You know what's probably got the best chance of winning, even without having seen any of it. And I'm looking at this list here this year, and I'm not hearing the streets really rumbling, and I'm not really sure who the real winner is. So we ain't gonna go over every single category. I think I'm just gonna keep the best picture, best director, and nitpick from there.
Was it the Golden Globes? Made that mistake of printing off all 87 categories on my printer.
And we just talked about the top 3 in movies.
I know, but I printed up all of them like an idiot.
Oh, no. Well, you know better next year.
Indeed.
So this year's nominees for Best Picture are Belfast. That's Kenneth Branagh, fantastic director. Personally, I thought the movie was only okay. Coda, which is an Apple Plus movie. Let's see. Don't Look Up, which found entertaining, but it's definitely not Best Picture material.
No, that's writing on the cast. That is.
It's a fun cast.
It's a good cast.
It was a fun story.
But it wasn't like I enjoyed the movie, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I just watched a piece of art.
Right. Drive My Car, which I don't know anything about. It's definitely a foreign film. It's also nominated for Best Foreign Film or Best International Film. Excuse me. That's not the nomenclature we use anymore. It's Best International Film.
And the nomination for Best Immigrant Movie.
Outstanding. Dune Part 1, which I think is just ridiculous because, again, it's half a movie. King Richard, that's the Will Smith movie. It's good.
It's good.
It's a struggle porn, though.
Yeah.
Licorice Pizza, which I keep hearing a lot of indie buzz about. That's Paul Thomas Anderson. But I'm also, for every good review I'm hearing of it, I'm hearing an equal and opposite bad review for it. And it's gotten to the point where it's like, I don't even want to see it. I had tickets for it at one point, and then Christmas got in the way, so I didn't get to go see it.
Yeah, Christmas always creeps up on you.
It always does. Nightmare Alley, that's the Guillermo del Toro movie. I did a review of that on the Waffle Box here. Very pretty movie, but by no means Best Picture of anything, honestly. And then finally, something called The Power of the Dog, which is another Netflix film. It's apparently a Western. I haven't gone out of my way to see it. That cleaned up pretty well at the Golden Globes, though. And then Steven Spielberg's remake of West Side Story, which bombed at the box office hard. Despite the fact that everyone who's seen it says it's great, nobody saw it.
I think,
including cliches.
I think everyone who says that that's good is lying. I think they want to set because they want to be looked upon as that person who saw, a musical, a well-renowned musical, and I'm well-renowned and I'm, sophisticated, so I enjoyed it. Blah blah blah. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
It's probably a good remake. But,
I wish I did see The Power of Dog, because isn't that about Dog the Bounty Hunter making his comeback? He's going to the gym.
No.
Oh, my wife!
If she could see me now, it was him prepping to fight the Tiger King. That's a movie I want to see. Dog the Bounty Hunter versus Tiger King.
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Just got chills.
Live action version. Hollywood, make it happen. Stone Cold Steve Austin commentating. With this, let's just talk about this, though, because you're the movie man.
Yeah, man.
Has this been just a really, I don't want to say trash year, but a subpar year for movies, or are there better movies out there that, for one reason or the other, aren't getting the nomination they deserve? And then like Dune and West Side Story are just getting the nominations because it looks like they're the artsy way to go, if you know what I mean.
I honestly thought The Eyes of Tammy Faye should have been on that list as far as Best Picture goes. I think The Night House should have been on that list as well. There's definitely movies on here that got skipped, and it just comes down to the Academy's voting process. And there's like over 5,000 members, so yeah, it's just one of those things that's weird. We're going to talk about one thing that did get snubbed. Well, I'll just bring it up now. The Green Knight. I don't think that was a Best Picture by any means, but it was the best sounding movie I've maybe ever heard. And it is not on the best sound nominations list. All sorts of other crap is on there, but it's just like, no, like the guy took advantage of the pandemic time and had his movie got pushed back a whole year. So he's just like, I'm just gonna fuck with the sound. I'm just gonna make it as perfect as possible. Like, I can't tell you guys enough. If you have the opportunity to see The Green Knight, do it in the best possible. Do it with the best possible sound system available. If you can see it in a theater, I probably won't be able to anymore. But if you can, do it. If you're gonna watch it at home, I hope you have the Dolby DTS 5.1, 7.1 channels,
or a good Sonos speaker.
Get some of those intense headphones, because like the sound on that movie is just incredible. It's a great looking movie too. I wouldn't be mad if he had Mike Lowry, not Mike Lowry.
Bad Boys.
The director ended up good catch, Mike. Good catch. I would not be surprised if the director Mike Lowry. David Lowry is who I'm thinking about, and I would see an argument for him being best director, but his movie absolutely had the best sound, and the fact that that's not on this year's nominations is that should be a crime. It's a technical award. It gets overlooked. Most folks don't care, but that's my 2 cents on that. It should have been on that best sound list.
And Ghostbusters Afterlife, another snub.
No, as much as I love Ghostbusters Afterlife, as much as I love Spider-Man No Way Home, no.
You have to wonder though why. I don't know when the cutoff was, but whether it might be your cup of tea or yada yada yada. If a movie makes that much money in such a short amount of time, how can that not even be in contention for the best movie of the year when by far it made the most money? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it should have been, but I don't know. It just always perplexes me why big box office movies don't at least be put into that conversation.
So before the pandemic, the Academy was flirting with the idea of setting up the best earner category.
Well, that's not surprising.
That's such a non-contest because you just look at the list at the end of the year, like, oh, Spider-Man won. There you go. Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man was one of the most entertaining movies of the year, no doubt. And the fans that liked it loved it. But everyone that's on the voting committee, all 5,000 plus of them, they all got way better things to do, and they all saw a much better movie than Spider-Man. I mean, again, it's entertaining. Your favorite movie and the best movie are two different things. I love Ghostbusters Afterlife. It is my favorite movie of 2021. It is not the best movie by any means.
You know, the best teams get the most points. Surely the best movies make that much money.
Yeah.
Well, it should at least be in the algorithm. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, they're working on that. They are working on that. I got my Green Knight rant out of the way, so we'll just close it with Best Director. So again, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast, Raisuke Hamaguchi for Drive My Car. Again, I think that's a Japanese film. Licorice Pizza, Paul Thomas Anderson. Power of the Dog, Jane Campion, and Steven Spielberg for West Side Story.
I can call this one right now.
Of these five, the only one I've seen is Belfast, and I don't know that was the best directed. Kenneth Branagh, hell of a director.
Hell of a director.
Hell of an actor. In fact, great goddamn actor, right? And with a little luck on our side, we're going to watch Death on the Nile this Friday, which has been sitting on the shelf for a year as well.
I'm looking forward to watching that. I do want to watch that.
Should be entertaining, right? Should be fun. The last one was fun. Why wouldn't this one be?
But here's my prediction. This is going to be. So who's the second one on that list?
Pull that up here. Oh, Drive My Car. Risuke Hamaguchi.
I reckon I wouldn't be shocked if they win. And this is going to be the Oscars token. Look at us. We're diverse. We're inclusive. Look, we've got this person won it. That's
not impossible. I understand Drive My Car has got a lot of praise with the powers that be. But Licorice Pizza has been nonstop being brought up and talked about, and I keep seeing ads for it and reviews on YouTube with this, that, and the other. And then Power of the Dog, despite not seeing anything for it, despite it being available on Netflix, like that thing just keeps collecting all the awards. That'll probably be the one that takes Best Director, Best Picture.
I am the dog, the big bad dog.
I think the strongest category they got this year, and I just skimmed over it the last day or so, is Best Actress. Okay, and we'll close it on this one here. So, The Eyes of Tammy Faye did get a nomination for Jessica Chastain. That chick just disappears into the role. I think she should be. I think she should just win it. I'm just going to say that off the top. But Olivia Coleman, she's a former winner from 3 or 4 years ago for The Favorite. She played the queen in The Favorite. Gave a great speech. I didn't think it was the best performance, but loved her speech. Loved her after.
And she has come a long way from her humble beginnings in England. She was, I think, she was kind of like I don't know if it was, you could say a sitcom actress, but she was very.
She's a comedic actress for sure.
Yeah. So it's where she's come now. It's very funny. I remember she was in a show called Peep Show, which is if you haven't seen that, check that out. It's a very clever, not only just comedically, but the way it's shot is a very. But it's called Peep. Not to go too much into a rabbit hole, but it's called Peep Show. So it's all filmed like in their point of view. So each shot you're looking at the person they're talking to, and then it's so you're in their head, sort of thing. If that makes sense.
Oh, dig. Yes, it does.
It's very cleverly filmed and very funny.
Okay.
And she's in it.
Well, she's on the list. Penelope Cruz is making her Oscar debut with a thing called Parallel Mothers. That's a super indie-rific movie. I've only seen a couple trailers for, but nothing. I don't even know what it's about. Nicole Kidman playing Lucille Ball in Amazon's Being the Ricardos. Very fun movie. Seen it a couple times now. I don't see it being stronger than Jessica Chastain's. And then Kristen Stewart playing Lady Di in the biopic Spencer. It's again, this is a strong category this year. When it's not the best actress, it's usually the best supporting actress. The last couple of years that has had the strongest category, and this year follows the same. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with these 5 ladies.
Princess Diana's making a comeback.
Yeah, she had a Netflix musical as well this year,
which is nominated for like in every Razzie category ever. To be fair, because it was a Broadway show here in New York. Well, I'm not in New York, but you know what I mean. I'm in New York, and it doesn't matter. But whenever they would promote it on the radio, and it was like a musical about Diana, it's not only educational, but it's like, oh, this sounds horrible. Why would I want to live Diana's life in a musical? Jeez, that just sounds horrible. And I'm almost glad that it's being panned by critics because I'm right.
I can tell you, I've seen 3 out of those 5 movies. Spencer, I found to be the most boring of the 3. It plays a lot like a 1990s BBC TV movie. Okay, like the lens is all fuzzy. It's like they smeared Vaseline on it. Lots of bright flat light. The story. All right, I'm sorry, you're the Duchess of Wales and you're depressed. All right, grow up. Fantastic performance. by Kristen Stewart, but at no point was I really engaged in the movie itself. But again, I'm very looking forward to seeing what happens with this. I can totally see why Kristen Stewart would walk away with this. I would imagine Jessica Chastain is going to take this, but I could also see Nicole Kidman stealing it.
And this award show is going to be televised, right? Not like the other one
yes.
got canned.
This one's still going to be televised.
What shows it? Is it ABC normally shows the Oscars?
Usually.
And when does this take place?
I want to say it's in 6 weeks. I don't have a date in front of me here, but we'll talk more about the closer we get.
Indeed. Maybe we'll have a Waffle Box Oscars pool.
Sunday, March 27th, live from the Dolby Theater. They're going back to the old venue. Last year they did it in the train station.
I remember that. It was I actually quite enjoyed last year's Oscars because it was like very just stripped down. It was just, here's the nominations. Here's the winner. Thank you. Next award. It was just, dun, 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 dun. I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I'm assuming this year's going to be completely different. It's going to be 5 hours long, dragged out like fuck. There you go.
Probably.
Next thing, a movie that may be hot for the Oscars next year? Question mark.
I'm just going to confirm no.
Oh,
I'll just confirm to you no.
Spoiler alert. It's time for Kush's movie review. It's that point in the show that Kush is after going to the movies. Now he's going to talk about it without spoiling it, but it's kind of about Jackass. So is there really a spoiler? You know what's going to happen in the movie review.
Ow, my balls!
My balls! Ow, my groin! Ow. Yeah, Jackass Forever. Could you believe that there is finally a fourth Jackass movie? The movie that nobody asked for, but a lot of people are the same way and kind of excited about it.
Well, you're right about that, Mike. Definitely nobody asked for this movie, except for maybe Bam Margera, and he had to sit on the sidelines the entire time. I was never a fan of the Jackass TV series. I always thought it looked cheap. It's something anybody can do. You know, it's literally just nut shots for 22 minutes. Am I wrong? Maybe slightly, but not completely. However, once they started doing the movies, they have all been consistently funny and entertaining, and it's a nice tight meld, and they pushed the envelope further and further each time. The last one they had in 2007 was in 3D during the whole 3D craze. I would end up just seeing it at home on TV. Still hilarious. This year, when you and I started talking about Jackass 4 coming up, and this was supposed to come out back in October, we got an increase of the Delta variant, and they just went, well, maybe we'll put it out when Omicron's not a thing anymore. Well, what's Omicron? Don't worry about it. We're pushing it to February. I know that. That's all you need to know. You're like, Kush, you don't really seem to be excited. But I was like, Mike, these guys are old. All right. These guys are now pushing 50. Okay. They cannot take this punishment anymore. And that is still true, which is why, while they only do the most dangerous stunts, they do not do all of the stunts. So Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, they do whatever they have to do to make you laugh and tickle your funny bone. But the Johnny Knoxville actually has brain damage now from that bull stunt he does in the trailer.
I bet.
And he only does it once, and that sucker flipped him twice before he hit the ground. But yeah, Johnny Knoxville is going to be a vegetable in 20 plus years, and that's sad.
It is. I mean, not that he deserves it, but
they're kind of like, he brought it on himself.
What did you I'm just gonna let a bull rush me. What's the worst that could happen?
The man is, if he's not fearless, he's crazy, and he might just be both. So having said all that, the OGs are there, but they're keeping their participation very limited, only for the important stuff. Then there's always been the second tier Jackass guys there, and that's like Dave Englund and Chris Pontius. Chris Pontius don't really do anything dangerous, but he shows all of his wang as much as he can, as he can. Party boy.
That used to be my favorite part of the TV show, Party Boy. That just made me giggle so much.
He actually is in the best. His involvement in this one stunt or sketch or gimmick or whatever they're calling it, where it's a tribute to the Silence of the Lambs. He has the funniest gimmick in the whole movie. Where like I think about it now, I'm still just laughing my ass off because it's just at one point they bring in two of the new booties into this room. And like, here's a camera guy, here's a camera guy, here's a snake trainer, here's this snake. It's the most deadliest snake in the world. If it even bites you once, you're going to be dead in minutes. So we're going to keep it in this bucket. Guys, why don't you go outside, get a cup of water, and we'll finish the stunt. So as soon as the guys go out, they swap out the buckets. Now it's just an empty bucket. But the guys getting word of, they don't know that. So the guys come back in, and immediately everybody just vacates the room. And then it goes black. And then all of a sudden they start chiming in the PA, and it's just a rattle. And they start freaking out gloriously. Everything is in night vision, which is normally annoying, but this time it's hilarious. And then sure enough, Chris Pontius is just in the background. He's tucked in, he's tucked between his legs, and he's just doing the Silence of the Lambs dance, just like, ooh, would you do me? I'd do me. Just anyways, that's not even the entire sketch, but that's just like I was like, ugh! I'm laughing incredibly hard at this moment. So like I said, we meet some new booties. We meet let's see, they have a girl for the very first time. Her name is Rachel Wolfson,
and she's tough by the sounds of it.
She French kissed a taser.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? I believe Sean McInerney is one of them. If this is the gentleman I'm thinking about, his name is Poopies.
Would you
plural?
Would you naturally? The problem is with kissing tasers is that you fall in love too quickly because you instantly feel the spark. Mm.
That was awful. I hope you put in a drum snare there.
Oh, maybe. What's his name? Willie?
There's a third kid here. PK, I guess. I don't know. There's a third kid in there. They're all very funny. Let's see what else do we. Eric Andre makes an appearance. He's part of the Dick House crew, which is the Jackass production house. So Eric Andre was in a Road Trip last year. It was supposed to be a theatrical release. Pandemic killed that, and it got sold to Netflix. And funny movie. Him and Lil Rel, Tiffany Haddish. Again, all Jackass stunts, all just, Borat style. Like, oh, hey, you mind if we do this? And now I'm knocking over all your shit. Oh, now I'm driving a car through your display window.
I think I saw that. Yeah, I don't think I finished it though. It kind of annoyed me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Maybe I'm getting old.
So let me see. Where is our guy here? Aaron McGady. We were talking about the trailer, and I was just like, Mike, what is it about this guy, Aaron? Like, I don't know him outside of Jackass. I don't really remember much of anything he's done in these movies. I remember the one sketch, but then like we get to the scene where he gets strapped to a chair and they release a bear on him, and I was like, yeah, that's satisfying. I don't know why I want to see the worst things happen to this guy. Guess who read Santa's Christmas list? Because guess what? Aaron has all the worst things done to him. You kind of feel bad after a while. But it's really bad, bro. They do a thing called the cup test, which is apparently a revisiting of a gimmick. So the chick with the softball, she spikes a softball into his balls from the pitcher's mound. And I was like, yeah, that's satisfying. My man takes the hockey puck to the nads. I forget what the third thing was, but then the fourth thing is they pogo. You know what a pogo stick is?
I'm aware of their work. Yeah.
Someone pogos right onto his balls and shaft, and he ends up actually bleeding from that one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why are you doing this to yourself, dude? Like, what's what are you doing, bro?
I hope you got a nice payday from that.
Oh, if you have insurance. I hope they're giving you all the insurance from this.
Even so, I don't care if the hospital bills can be covered. I want some danger money, pun intended.
He better be getting all the danger money because he keeps putting himself in stupid situations where it's like, what are you doing, bro? And by the way, there's a few times where like this dude is like legitimately shaking just from the adrenaline and the fear running through him. And it was like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you just tap out, man? Just tap out. Anyways, no. Jackass Forever. I don't know what kind of impression I gave from this review. I have not laughed this hard in a few years. It felt fantastic. I recommend everybody go check this out, if not in the theater, as soon as you can on whatever device you have. And 5 out of 5.
Ooh, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. It's all the laughs I needed. It's none of the bullshit. It's a nice tight package. I went in there knowing what to expect, so I didn't get grossed out by all the ingestion of cow sperm or dicks being shown. There's a lot of dicks in this movie. Spoiler alert. Like if you're one of those dudes like, I can't look at another man's dick, don't see Jackass 4 then, because this thing is like wall-to-wall dick. All right. And,
is it still owned by, I know it's what is it, Dick House Productions, but are they still aligned with MTV Films?
This was an MTV movie. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not that it matters or anything, but I'm just thinking about what streaming platform.
That's an interesting.
So it'd probably be on Paramount, right? Paramount Plus.
It'll probably make its way to Paramount Plus before you see it on anything else. So, I don't know. Maybe go to the Red Box when it's available there. But yeah,
Red Box. Even that seems like I remember watching getting VHSs and sticking them into my top loader and watching them, and now all I'm thinking about is how old school Red Box is, having to drive to my local ShopRite and then standing in the rain with the umbrella flicking through what things they had available. Oh, those are the days. Those are the days. Kids are spoiled these days. They don't get the enjoyment. 5 out of 5 for Jackass. I was hoping you was going to say 4 out of 5, just for the nice synergy. Jackass 4.
I thought about just holding back. No, man. This is the hardest I've laughed in a few years. It felt fantastic. Am I going to go see it again? Probably not anytime soon. But I enjoyed my experience. I'm glad I didn't talk myself out of it, which almost happened. I almost didn't go to the screening Thursday night. And yeah, dude, those guys put out a consistent product. It sucks that Johnny Knoxville really can't do anything outside of Jackass, because 3-4 years ago he had a movie, Camp Adventure, or it was about a theme park in New Jersey where there was really just no rules. It was based in the 70s when there wasn't any litigation and all that. Action Point. It was maybe the worst movie of that year, maybe second only to Slender Man.
He's done a couple. Like, what was that? He was in that movie with The Rock, where he was The Rock's best friend. What one was that? Where The Rock came back after serving, and his town had been taken over. By a shady guy at the casino.
Okay, Walking Tall.
He was good in that.
Coincidentally enough, he was fine in that. He's the supporting character, though. I'm talking about like his full-on starring films. Like he did a movie with Jackie Chan, I want to say in 2014, and like both these guys do all their own stunts. This should be amazing. Boring.
Was there one about is it Special Olympics or something?
Yeah, he did a movie where he played
someone who was pretending to be special needs.
Mentally special needs. Yes, thank you. Couldn't have said it better myself. And that got a lot of controversy for it. That was an Abrams film. The guys who did Airplane and The Naked Gun and all that, like on paper, this thing should have been a success. But no, you can't make fun of the Special Olympics even in 2003 or whenever that was.
I'm sure
I like the Johnny Knoxville. I wish he was starring in better projects. Again, like that Jackie Chan film he did, that thing should have been a gutbuster, and instead it was just dull.
Unfortunately,
Action Point, dull, and
he has been a little bit typecast, I guess, in his little niche. No, I hope he's done all right out of this franchise. I'm sure he can retire happily.
Well, again, they introduced the new kids, so
I hope
there could be a Jackass 5, 6, and 7.
I hope
it probably won't be the same, but that's the potential.
Maybe if they just like do an offshoot called like Dumbass.
No, Jackass Babies. Sure.
Jackass Babies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll put that on the maybe column. We'll put that on the maybe column with my live action celebrity deathmatch.
There you go.
There we go.
That's 2 MTV products right there.
Oh, look at that. We're making so
MTV,
much money for MTV. We can finally give this up. Anyway. Yeah, so check it out, Jackass. Let's wrap this week's episode up with our feel-good story of the week. So this week, we travel down to Florida, which is normally where the stupid stories come from. But this is a little bit of a nice story. Also, there is a little bit of stupidness in it. But so Florida, obviously, stereotypically gets a very warm climate. They always get very nice weather. They not get much wintry mix over there. So to kind of help, a kindergarten teacher named Robin Hughes, who had family living in Kentucky, thought, hey, why don't I treat my children in my class to some snow? So what she did was she reached out to her sister, Amber, who lived in Louisa, Kentucky, and they were going to get like a foot of snow, if not more. So what she did was she built a snowman, packed it into this storage container, and shipped it from Kentucky to Florida so that her sister could show this snowman to these kindergarten kids, which was very exciting, very nice. Now, again,
how big was the snowman?
It didn't say, if I'm honest. No, it doesn't say. But as always, whenever I talk about nice stories, I always have to have my little say. And some of the quotes here is hilarious. So one, don't get me wrong, it's very impressive that the fact that they called the snowman lucky because it actually traveled and it was fully intact. Like one of the blueberries that they used for eyes, it kind of looked like it had a lazy eye.
Oh,
but other than that, got there intact. And so what was really adorable in a way, but also kind of sad, that so the snowman's still alive. So what they did, they store it in the freezer at the school, bring it out so kids can see the snowman, and then they put it back in the freezer again, which like, okay. So what is the quote? So, Jesus Christ. It's actually quite that. Just Google it. I don't know, or travel if you want to see snow. Maybe I'm just being but anyway, so the teacher said, I quote, I was so excited because he made it, and just the pure joy in the kid's face seeing this snowman. Apparently, some of the kids asked adorably, is he coming to life? But this is the kind of where it gets weird.
Your parents are disappointed in you.
Yeah. So Hughes, the kindergarten teacher, immediately called her sister, who, and I quote, had formed an emotional bond with the snowman. She received the news that he had arrived safely with tears.
Kids are stupid.
No, this is the teacher. The teacher and her sister. Yeah.
Oh, no. This is that woman who calls her dog a fur baby then. Ugh. How embarrassing.
I don't know who wrote the article, to be fair. I should have actually listed down the author. But they said, so kept cold and snug in the school cafeteria, Lucky, the snowman, is repeatedly brought out for different classes to demonstrate the majesty of snow. But yeah, it's quite.
I mean, it's Florida, so I get like this is a marvel. Like, and look at what we're doing to preserve it. But I keep wondering, like, how big was this thing? I can't imagine it being more than like this big, because you still have to have shipped it, and you have to have found a container for it. And I would imagine you want to put it in one of those styrofoam containers, probably with some dry ice, much like the Omaha Steaks, not a sponsor, but
steaks are available.
Like, yeah, like my questions are nitpicks, but I still would like to know them for the full satisfaction of this story. But wow, yeah, this teaches a head case.
I mean, yeah, that's okay. I should really do my research before I kind of tell everyone that I'm going to do these stories. But I just thought, just the headline, I thought, oh, this is an adorable, nice story. The fact that these kids in Florida have never seen snow, so she got a snowman shipped from out of state so they could see it, which is really adorable, really nice. I commend them. But then, yeah, it kind of got weird where I think they got too excited by the snow or had the quote unquote emotional bond with the snowman. Maybe, I don't know what's happening in Kentucky, where this woman who cried when she found out the snowman had reached her safe. But there you go.
Oh, Kentucky bluegrass.
What's all this cold cocaine, teacher? I don't know.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Just one of the parents.
She shipped the wrong cooler, Mike. She shipped a cooler full of cocaine to the kids.
Gather around, kids. And she opens the package and poof, all this cocaine.
And the kids are like, wow, it's snowing.
Oh, unicorn. Nice.
Hilarious.
Oh. So that's that. That's I guess feel good story of the week. Okie dokie. So what have we got to look forward to? Obviously, every Wednesday, don't forget to check your audio and platforms for a new episode of Waffle Box. One thing, we are slowly just picking up speed this past week, so now I'm going to promote it a little bit. Our YouTube channel is slowly trucking along. Pretty soon, me and Kush are going to be able to have a boxing match with Logan Paul. That's how big we're getting on YouTube soon. We're pretty close to getting
Box's ears in.
I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers as quickly as possible, because that just allows us to have a custom URL. So when people ask me what our YouTube channel is, I don't have to go youtube.com/a bunch of numbers and letters like I'm a fucking...
And they're case sensitive too, FYI.
Exactly. So I just want to get a nice custom URL. So help us out. If you are listening to this and you have a YouTube account, just go to enjoywafflebox.com. Click on the subscribe to YouTube. Help us get to 100. Tell your friends and family. Check us out on YouTube. So what else we got content-wise? As we kind of said earlier in the show, this Friday, lots of content. 2 things for you to look forward to. Episode, what number is it of Microdose?
104.
Episode 104 of the Microdose with Kush Hayes and his extremely good-looking and talented and genius friend Mike Fish, talking about the big game coming up on Sunday, where we're going to help you not only enjoy the match, the game, whatever you want to call it, maybe even win a little bit of money in the gambling. It's not that you don't have to gamble if you don't want to, but whatever. And then on Friday evening at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, go to Waffle Box YouTube page, hit that subscribe button, where we'll be streaming live an episode of Late Night Syrup with myself and Katie from the What the Psychology podcast. Also available on our Twitch channel, which is at twitch.tv/Late Night Syrup. And that's
going to be a good show.
It's going to be a great show. And then just ahead, even though we're going to be doing an episode before then, the following Saturday on a special extra bit of information on the Waffle Box feed, that's when we're going to be debuting our new show, Watch with Waffle Box, where you'll be able to sit down comfortably in your own home, stick on the Longest Yard, starring Adam Sandler, and listen to me and Kush talk about the movie while you watch it. So it'd be fun. If you watch it with us, it'd be fun.
We're going to have a good time, and I promise we won't eat anything.
No cheeseburgers.
No cheeseburgers, no popcorn, no chips. No. Oh,
etc. etc.
Cheeseburger ready.
Cheeseburger ready. Spoiler alert if you haven't already seen it. So yeah, check those out. So for all those links, go to enjoywafflebox.com and also bosnet.family for so much audio and visual content. It might blow your damn mind. So follow that at Wafflebox Pod on all social media networks. I am at Mr. Mike Fish. He is Kush_Hayes. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button, all that good bollocks that you're supposed to do.
Smash that like button.
Smash that like button. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.